This is Tumbleweed from Tough Enough, A.J. Kirsch, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
All right, and we are back and making his third appearance here on the show, Inchman.
Oh, I'm excited, Jack.
I am too. We've got Bill DeMott. He's one of my favorites, and I'll say about everybody. Formerly Hugh Morrus, the Laughing Man. How you doing?
Man, I want to clear one thing up because I've heard this. This is my third appearance, and I'm always your favorite when I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to take that. Am I your favorite Am I your favorite of the three people you just named, the Laughing Man, Hugh Morrus, or Bill DeMott, or am I your favorite?
You're actually, you're one of my favorite wrestlers. I mean, do you think that when we have other people on, I should say, we're joined by Nick Bockwinkel, and by the way, Hugh Morrus is one of my favorites. You think that?
I just saw Nick Bockwinkel a couple weeks ago in Vegas, and he did mention that you said that. So I accept, that's a bunch of crap, and you know it. Every guest you have is your favorite.
It's not true. I mean, you could, I challenge
Anytime I challenge you to get rid of 1-inch biceps, and everybody would be your favorite.
Oh, man, the Inch Man.
Don't get rid of me.
Inch Man.
Don't do me in, Jack.
How do you go from the Inch Man? I truly missed you guys.
I missed you, too. It's always good for
I just say that to everybody I talk to, kind of like I'm your favorite. I say, I really missed you. I tell my mom that, too, and I mean it.
You're breaking my heart.
Man.
No, you don't have a heart.
But
what are you guys doing, man? I appreciate you having me back. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to you. We'll let everybody know you got the book out, The Last Laugh. It's by you and Scott Teal, who always puts out quality books. And you get that right at crowbarpress.com. And if you can't spell that, we'll have a link right on the website. You're pretty sad, but you can just click on it and go like magic. It's good times.
Yeah, it's not hard words. It's crowbarpress.
Yeah, but, they're wrestling fans. You never know. I'm just kidding.
I had a good time with the book. Scott Teal is actually a fascinating character. I thought I was the most fascinating character I knew until I started working with Scott, and then it came to be that I am the most fascinating guy I know. So it was a lot of fun letting Scott work with me. Mm-hmm. That didn't sound right. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun having myself be able to work with Scott.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not it. I've been training for 14 hours today, fellas, and I'm delirious.
All right. The wrestler.
Oh, boy.
So you're without his mask? We just got a bombshell here.
He farted?
I don't know if you know the wrestler Delirious. I thought maybe you were actually, we found out his secret identity.
Oh, no.
But where did you come up with the name The Last Laugh, and do you think you still have the laugh in you?
The Last Laugh was, if I remember correctly, it was one of the moves I used to use, and I kind of named it. I was fortunate enough. The moonsault was called No Laughing Matter, and it was kind of almost a given when I started this project years ago. And I thought, I wasn't sure what I was going to call the book, and then when I reached out to Scott about publishing it and finishing it off, I came up with The Last Laugh, and if you read the book, you kind of understand why I feel like I get the last laugh. And I don't mean I get one up on the whole world. Mm-hmm. I get the last laugh in life in general. And I mean that in the most positive way. But it just seemed to fit, for most of my career, known as Hugh Morrus and the Laughing Man. The Last Laugh is, the book doesn't end the way people would think because, through the internet and interviews, people think they kind of know who you are. The beauty of my book, I guess if there's a beauty part of the book, is it's honest. I lay it all out there for everybody. I put myself out there. And I get the last laugh kind of because I'm still doing what I love to do. And I'm here to tell my story. So that's kind of where I got the name. And it's kind of more into it if you read the book. I urge people who want to read something honest to read it. I mean, it's not a glorified story about myself at all. I really put it all out there. But the Last Laugh came from, it was one of my favorite moves. It was actually one of the clotheslines I used to throw. But the Last Laugh is, I'm still here.
Right.
So I kind of got the last laugh on the whole. I got the last laugh on myself. That's what I mean by it.
Mm-hmm. No, Les Thatcher does the forward. Why did you pick Les Thatcher?
It's funny. I've known Les for a good part of my career. And Les had this reputation of being a hard guy and this, that, and the other. And Scott and Les got to talking because Scott and Les are good friends, and I was kind of honored that Les would even take on the, it wasn't a great big project, and he didn't have to do it. And for wrestling fans who don't know Les, or for those smart fans who think, oh, Les Thatcher never did anything in the business, Les has been around a long time. Some people value his opinions and what he's done in the business. And I'm very fond of Les, so I was very fortunate, and I was honored that he took the time and said yes to write the foreword to it. And I read it, and I was like, wow, man, you never really know how people feel about you sometimes.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool, and I was honored by that. It was really neat for me I fancy myself as kind of a wrestling guy, and I was just real happy and honored that Les took the time to do that for me. So I thought it added a little bit to the book.
Mm-hmm. Have you been happy with the response you've gotten for the book from fans and maybe other wrestlers?
Fans, some of the guys that have read the book, family members, just people in general. I've gotten a lot of responses, and I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised. I'm sure I have a few questions that still need to be answered from my family.
Mm-hmm.
But as a whole, I'm real happy. They weren't all great comments, but they were comments, and that's what happens when you go out. If you're going to put it out there, you're going to have to listen and answer to things and kind of just stick to your guns. But for the most part, I'm super happy with the response. I'm glad people have enjoyed it. I'm glad people haven't. I don't think people looked at it as, it was just a book written. It's not BS. It's about as true as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm real happy that the project is going well. And for everybody that reads it and buys it and then gives me feedback, I'm super excited to hear it or read what they have to say. So yeah, it's been a great, very therapeutic read.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's a lot of people on hold here. They've been wanting to talk to you all night. I'm going to get to a couple of callers. We'll talk some more about the book. Let's hear Larry Higgins.
Yeah, hello. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. First time calling. I've been listening to your guys' show for about, I'd say maybe a year or two now. I just want to say good job. Thoroughly enjoy it. Mr. DeMott, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Larry. How you doing, brother?
Excellent. I've been a longtime fan of wrestling since the early 80s, the Hulk Hogan cartoon era. Watched it all the way up. My first experience with watching you was, as the Laughing Man, Hugh Morrus in WCW. And one of the matches I just watched recently was the Goldberg's first match where you put him over.
Yes.
What was that like? Was he as dangerous in the ring as people say?
No, I always found the people who said he was dangerous in the ring were the ones who were never in the ring with him. If that makes sense. Things happen in the ring. Things happen to people outside the ring. Things happen in Walmart. Things happen in Target. Things happen in 7-Eleven. So things definitely happen in the wrestling ring. The funny part for me is in 23 years in this industry, I'm known for two things. Wow, that's the guy from Tough Enough, and you were the first guy that Goldberg beat. Two things I'm very proud of, by the way, Larry. Two things. And I always say it this way. Goldberg hit on something that was big at the time, and I was blessed. I was called upon, my number was called to what can we do with Bill Goldberg? And I'm happy to be part of the streak. I'm happy it started with me. Bill has always been a good friend. I enjoy Bill's company. In that streak, I'm sure I had about 20, he had about 25 wins on me, and I do them all again. Never hurt me, never. Not that I've ever backed down anyway, but it was an honor. And for after all this time of this first match, whatever year that was, and people still talk about it, somebody did something right. So I'm gonna stay on the bandwagon of I was part of that, and I'm real happy that I was. And it turned out to be a great career for Bill, and my career's still going. So I think it was a win-win for everybody. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Salt Lake City, Utah, I think it was.
Yeah, and speaking of Tough Enough, obviously that is the second most major thing being known for. And I absolutely thought you were hilarious on Tough Enough. In fact, I thought you kind of like this odd couple routine with skid marks. And I'm wondering, now that, it's all said and done, what are your take on all the kids, and who do you think's got it and who doesn't? And, when are we going to see Andy in a WWE ring?
I think skid marks. Yeah, that's where I'll leave that. And then I think the kids who have got it is the kid who won it.
Gotcha.
I think it was the right decision then. I think it's the right decision now. I'm actually spending a little time with Andy in Tampa, getting him ready for what hopefully becomes a positive and long career for him. WWE's got some vignettes they've been showing on him on Raw, and he's in a great little spot. It'll be interesting to see if he can step up to the plate and answer the call. But love Toughen Up. I think it's a great avenue. I think it's a great show. I'm not a reality guy. I appreciate you saying I'm funny, because sometimes my wife doesn't get my humor, but that's me 24/7. So I think we got the right kid. I look forward to a season 2, and skid marks. Yeah. Okay.
Guys.
Thanks for calling in, Larry.
Thank you.
Now, before we even I got to know the kids on the show, I think what really made the show was you and Austin right away. Then you get to know the people and you get to get more into it. But what did you just think of the whole dynamics with you and Austin together?
I've said it before, and then WWE Magazine put it out, and I think the initial thing, I wasn't even announced till the last minute because of, and I think it shocked people with my reputation and my internet stuff, and what former trainees and people have always said about Bill DeMott. There's no way that when you got Stone Cold Steve Austin, Booker T, and Trish Stratus, the last person I think anybody would have expected would have been Bill DeMott. And then for Steve and I to have such great chemistry, and it's a natural chemistry. It wasn't force-fed. It wasn't rehearsed. We didn't meet up every day and discuss what we did. What you guys saw was what exactly happened every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great. I enjoyed it. Austin is a freaking classic. He's a class act, and people say I have a sense of humor, but Steve Austin might be the funniest son of a bitch I know.
Uh-huh.
And that's saying a lot because I know a lot of silly bastards. But Austin is fun. Austin is sincere about the business, and I think that's why him and I got along so well, because the bottom line was we care. All through the stuff we put those kids through and we put ourselves through during that, we care. And what an honor and a pleasure it was to get back to work with Steve and to get to know him better. And I think he got to know me better. So, I don't know, man. It was a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the best parts of the show would be the end of the show, too, when Austin would be in the ring with the bottom three, browbeating everybody. I always look really forward to that. That
was an awesome, naturally with editing and only being an hour show, you couldn't get the full effect. Mm-hmm. But he became a master of the mental game.
One of the things about Tough Enough this season was they had a lot of people that were from the Indies or had some training. I think only maybe a couple people had no training whatsoever. Do you think that's better or worse for the show?
I think every situation is different. I've always found, as far as training and in the industry, a clean slate is easier to mold. We had a lot of cats that had 9 years, 6 years, 5 years. The one chick apparently
11.
Excuse me, had 11 years. Although she was only 14, so she'd been working since she was 3.
Mm-hmm.
So the math never added up with some of these crazy kids, but. I think experience works if they have honest experience. I think the better question would have been not how many years you've, quote-unquote, been doing this, or maybe you should have been how many matches have you had?
Yeah.
Because my son's been living for 2.5 years, but he hasn't lived life yet. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
That's a crappy analogy, but it was funny to me. I kind of like that.
I weren't. I understood it.
What did 1 Inch Biceps think of that?
I agree with you full-heartedly.
Did he call me? What did he call me?
I don't know. I said full-hearted.
You would have never made it on Tough Enough. I would have left you in a canyon in the hills.
A canyon in the hills?
Yeah, I would have duct taped you to a rock.
Duct taped me to it. I don't like
I
the way
would have
this
fed you every
interview's
day,
going.
but I would have duct taped you. I would have fed you, but you would have been duct taped.
Would you feed me some ribs or anything like that? Like,
No, don't get carried. I would have let you run in front of those dogs. That's what I would have done. That would have made me laugh.
Something's kind of controversial on the internet was when Matt Cross got when he got eliminated so early. Do you think that's the right decision? And do you think maybe some of actually his experience might have played against him because maybe he thought he should have been too well mannered instead of really going out there and showing like his personality?
Well, I think the best part about Matt Cross, and after I survived the death threats and I had to move, and Steve and I had security for about 2 months after that. After we got past all that and explaining ourselves, and having a chance to sit down with Matt a couple times and had a few conversations since then, and we keep in touch, I think Matt understood why he was eliminated. And he wasn't eliminated because he wasn't talented. He was eliminated because he didn't show what he had.
Mm-hmm.
And opportunities are far and few between in any business. Just like your business, you have to grab it. And it wasn't, a lot of people said, well, maybe they're trying to send a message and we got rid of the best worker of the bunch. And this all came from the internet and all people that followed him from the internet. I didn't look on the internet to see what he did. I didn't read his application. I didn't want to see videos or what they did to get on the show. I wanted to see them in person. And Trish Stratus gave Matt an opportunity to steal the show. And instead, he shit the bed. I mean, instead, he just let another guy shine, and he took opportunities of, I got some time, I'll pick my spot. And it was unfortunate, but I think it sent a message. And the message is clearly that you get one shot at any opportunities in the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't about shaking up the house, because it clearly didn't shake up the house because no one was ready to step up. But Matt Cross is a super kid. I know he's staying busy. I think he's making the most of his time that he did spend, and you never know where you're going to see him again. You know, he didn't just sit back and do a show and then quit because he got eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
He's a good kid. He's talented, and you know, I hope to see him again.
All right, we got some more people here on hold, and they're making noise. If you're on hold, just wait till we get to you. 270 area code. Who are you?
This is Al Snow.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. It's Mike Holman.
Oh man, Mike Holman from Jackass is on the line. All right.
Yeah. Hey, just calling to say, hey, I'm a big fan of Bill DeMott. I'm actually a little starstruck here. It doesn't happen often, so I thought I would call in and get off my ass and say hello, Bill.
I'm not sure if that's good or bad.
He was starstruck when we were across the hallway at the recent Days of the Dead, and now he's calling and he's talked to Bill DeMott, big time stuff. Do you have a question for Bill?
Not really. I mean, I guess the biggest thing I want to ask Bill is what he thought of how, I don't know if it was necessarily the common consensus with you guys, but a lot of the fans thought with the new season of Tough Enough that it was kind of more of a scripted show than the old Tough Enough when it was on the other stations.
I didn't have a script.
Well, not for you guys, but, you know, it seems like that, you know, like you guys had mentioned earlier, the 11-year veteran that had been on another reality show, and it's like, well, how can you be an 11-year veteran when you were walking a runway for 2 to 3 years?
That's my point, and that's the point I made. It's funny because we didn't, Steve, Booker, Trish and I, we didn't have anything to do with the process. When we got there, when we saw those kids get off the bus, that was the first time we saw them, and that's where skid marks came from. And when you introduce yourself and tell me you have 11 years experience, and then we call you in the ring, and then you tell me you took 5 years off, but you're only 24, and then by the end of the process find out that you're on America's Top Model and all this other stuff. So they BS their way into it, and we got to call them on it. I didn't realize how many reality show babies were on there until the end.
Right.
And then when we found out, it kind of justified our decisions on how things went, you know?
Right. Did you guys kind of feel set up once you found that out? You're like, wow, I wonder what else they're going to hit us with.
Well, I was sincerely speaking for myself, and here's why I'm going to get in trouble. I was pissed off to find out that there was reality guys on this show.
Right. And that's how a lot of us felt, too.
I was happy with the fact that the way the show went, and we didn't know, that it still played out and they gave themselves up.
Right.
The pure thing about it was still about this business and what they said they could do. And I said on the first day, I'm going to call you on your resume. And that's exactly what happened.
Right. Well, that's kind of how it felt. It just had the impression, it was kind of a slap to your face. I mean, you guys are taking this seriously. And the next thing you know, you've got a bunch of little hacks running around. Like, oh, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. And you just guys are like, really? Well, let's check it out.
But the beautiful thing, I hope there's a DVD and you guys get all the stuff you didn't see on TV, because I made a point of introducing myself on a daily basis. And even the reality children didn't really think that's what they, signed up for. So I let them know that it was the real deal, and I always got the green light from my captain, Stone Cold, and we took care of business. But I feel good at the end of the day, at the end of the show. It was as honest as it got, and it was a straight deal, straight talk from the trainers. And we proved our points by finding out who they were on our own. You know what I mean? So I feel sometimes Trish and I talked about it, and we felt like we were contestants on the show, seeing how we were going to last. But we outlasted those son of a guns, and we're still here. Yay.
Awesome deal. Good deal, man. Well, I don't want to hold you guys up. I just wanted to call in and say madly in love with you. No homosexual way, but you and Neil are very attractive men.
Oh, excellent.
No.
What about 1 inch biceps?
No.
I'm looking at a picture of you right now, Hugh, with long, pretty boy, stunning Steve Austin hair and what appears to be a Hawaiian floral shirt buttoned all the way up.
Oh, man.
What the hell kind of show is this?
I'm handsome.
Is this Al Snow? Because it could be Al Snow, the way he's talking.
It could be Al. Al lives down the street from me, so.
Really?
Apparently way down the street.
Did he ever give you a little head?
Well, Al delivers my pizzas now.
Oh, man. Oh, I hope Al is going. All right, thanks for calling in.
Well,
good man.
All right, see you guys.
See you there.
That was Mike Coleman from Jackass. We get Brains on the line. I think he's calling in from Ireland.
Hello?
Brains, what's going on?
I was just going to ask that with all the humour in his character, if there was any comedians he especially likes.
I don't know if there's any comedians that you like.
Any comedians I like?
Mm-hmm.
Comedians I like. Well, I'm a George Lopez fan.
Okay.
And I like the guy with the dummies on his hand, the Jeff Dunham. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that one guy, George Bush. He was funny.
He has some great lines.
Yeah, he made me laugh every time he was on stage.
In the future, we'll all be dead.
And yeah, so I have a tremendous sense of humor.
Mm-hmm. Just along those lines, how about in wrestling? I know there's always this phrase, funny doesn't equal money. Do you agree with that?
I can without a doubt say there's not one funny guy on the roster right now.
All right.
Except Hornswoggle.
He gets a huge pop, out the man. That's SmackDown.
Yeah, but he ain't making no money. So funny don't equal money.
Is it
Michael Cole's funny, and he might be the richest man in the company right now. So it's a double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to ask. All right.
Go ahead.
Make it a good one, Brains.
I was just going to ask what was his opinion on Finlay being fired for having the Miz interfere when the national anthem or whatever it was playing.
Here's my opinion. I don't have one that I would state publicly. I am a huge Finlay fan.
Mm-hmm.
Dave and I are friends. He's one of the best at what he does. And that's my opinion. As far as what happened or what went down or what's been reported or said, I have no opinion. I'm just a big fan of Fit Finlay.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone is. Thanks for calling in, Brains. Definitely Finley's a guy, too. I was just a fan of him, and it's really cool when he got like another run like later in his career, because you wouldn't think you'd really see him in the ring again, and then out of nowhere he gets this big run in WWE and did some really awesome stuff, I thought.
Yeah, he's one of the best at what he does. So.
Mm-hmm. And he was a guy, too, that really would help other people, I think, when they would put him in the ring with the other guys. Like, you could just see their improvement.
Yeah.
Fontana's on the line. Where are you calling in from, Fontana?
Well, I'm calling in from Ohio.
All right.
Excellent.
Yeah, I know, Buckeye over here. Big fan of Bill, and I had a question about the independent circuit for you, Bill.
Okay, shoot, what you got?
Yeah, if there's anybody on the independent circuit right now that most deserves a shot in the WWE, who would that be?
I think there's about 500,000 guys on the independent scene that think they're the next big thing. I don't know if anyone who stands out that big who deserves a shot. I know there's a few guys who need to be looked at. There's a difference between need a look and let people see what they can do and deserving. It depends on what my definition of deserving is what have you done to deserve a shot, or are you someone that we need to look at? I've seen a lot of guys in the past, especially the past 6 months, and there's a lot of great talent out there, and they all think they deserve a shot. And I always tell them, quite honestly, and write to them, after watching them work out or seeing YouTube videos or something, is that what you want to present to me or to anyone else to get your in WWE? And their answer is always, no, I have something better. Then what's deserving? Your best should be what you put right in front of you that day, because that might be the day we watch you, or that might be the day you're going to get a look. So I think there's a lot of guys who deserve an opportunity to be looked at. I don't know if anybody deserves a shot. To me, that's two different things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to double talk or be confusing. There's a lot of guys who deserve an opportunity to prove what they believe and how good they are. But I don't know of how many guys deserve a shot.
I know what you're saying.
But there's a lot of good guys out there, and hopefully, as from today on, and this is kind of what I do now, and I go around and I meet guys and take a look at them and hopefully help guys accomplish what they want, or at least give them an honest review, or this is what I'd work on, or something like that. But the independents are full of guys deserving an opportunity, and just like in the WWE, it's a waiting game. You have to wait your turn, because we have guys on the roster and in FCW that deserve a shot. So it's kind of a slippery slope. But for anybody who thinks they're good enough, I say stay busy and keep at it. You only deserve what you put in front of you. You got to make your opportunities. You can't wait for one to be given to you.
Exactly.
Well, Fontana, you got to go pick up The Last Laugh, by the way.
Oh, I'm definitely going to pick it up. I read all of them. So.
Cool.
I appreciate your time, fellas.
Thanks for calling in. Incher, do you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question from the chat room, actually. Weeble, he wants to know, have you seen the Rise and Fall of WCW DVD, and what did you think of it, if you did?
I have not. I'm sorry to say I have not seen the Rise and Fall. I didn't read any of the books yet. I kind of go back to, I lived a lot of it. I don't remember it, so seeing it probably would make me go, really? Did that really happen?
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if I'm on it, so I'm always,
You're
if
not on
it's in front of me, I'd probably watch it, but if I'm not on it, I'm not buying it. I don't watch Waterboy because they cut my parts out of the movie, so it's kind of the same deal.
Uh-huh. Now, I know in your book you talk a little bit about the Headhunters and ECW, and those were guys back in my tape trading days. I always loved watching the matches in Japan with them. Do you think they could have made it in WWE or WCW?
Nope. Nope, that's not nope. I don't even think about it. They were good guys at what they did, and they were an attraction,
mm-hmm.
and I mean that respectably. Two big twin brothers that were, they were Abdullah-sized guys, and they did a couple really cool things off the top rope, but that was their gimmick. I don't know if they would have. There was no longevity in what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion, but they were fun to work with, even more fun to travel with because they were always in trouble. But nope.
I know they had like real short, just like appearances on WWE just a couple times, but like it never really amounted to anything.
Yeah, it never panned out because they probably watched them argue backstage at catering and said, okay.
I always dug them though. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. There's a couple more callers. We'll get to them quick. Adam.
Yeah. Hey, Bill.
Hi, Adam.
Yeah, my question is, how good do you? Well, I read that tomorrow, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose are going to have a match, and what do you think we're going to expect out of that match?
I'm calling the match of the year tomorrow.
Even better than Punk and Cena?
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that after tomorrow, you will not see a better match for the rest of the summer. For the rest of the summer.
I gotta really say something about Moxley. You think I always say you're my favorite? I always said Moxley's my favorite indie guys. I saw him live at Dragon Gate, and after I saw him, I was like, man, I gotta get this guy on the show because I really saw something special in him. And then just so happy for him when he got picked up and he's in developmental. What do you just
so unique?
Yeah, and he can really tell a story. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and Seth Rollins are gonna steal everyone's thunder tomorrow night in the FCW arena. They're gonna steal the thunder. They're gonna set the bar so high. This is my prediction. So high that the rest of the talent roster is gonna go, oh shit. And then the only ones who are gonna top Rollins and Ambrose, if we have it, is Rollins and Ambrose too. Those guys are going to set the bar, and they're going to, tomorrow night, if you're in the Tampa area within an hour's driving distance, you drive to the FCW arena, and you're going to see Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose put on a clinic, both in the ring, telling a story, and just pure athleticism. These cats are the future of this business.
Mm-hmm. I like you said, telling a story in the ring. You watch his matches; he tells a great story. He doesn't have to rely on a bunch of crazy moves. He just just promo wise, one of the best guys around, in my opinion.
I'm expecting nothing short of spectacular.
Anything else for Adam?
Is that match going to be televised on TV or FCW TV or just a live event?
FCW TV. Tomorrow is going to be the 150th episode of FCW. That's a milestone, man. 150th episode of FCW TV, and what a way to kick it off. They're going to have Rollins and Ambrose. There's some great stuff going on in Tampa, and there's some great stuff, and the future of WWE is here. There's great superstars being groomed, because I'm talking so nice about Ambrose and Rollins, I'm expecting a percentage of both men's paychecks. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Otherwise, I could care less what they do. But if I don't get, and if they don't buy my book after this, I'm never talking about Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose again.
Yeah.
But all kidding aside, it should be one of the top 5 talked about matches of the year.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for calling in, Adam.
All right.
Since he brought it up, we have to get your opinion on the. I would just the whole angle with CM Punk and John Cena.
I'm trying to think how to word this and keep myself out of trouble. Business is picked up, boys. Mm-hmm. That's how I have to say it. That's the way I'm going to say it to stay politically correct, and at the same time, I can't wait for a time when I don't have to be as politically correct, and I think this started the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. What a great time in the industry.
Oh yeah.
The great thing for me was the follow up on Raw, and everybody. I don't think anybody left still thinking about Cena and his opponent from Sunday. Then they were talking about Vince and McMahon. Mm-hmm. The ball was rolling. The doors are wide open, and there's a bunch of cats kicking the doors in. Mm. And it's real exciting for me to watch as a fan and watch from behind the scenes. Things are picking up, and as far as the match you're talking about, freaking genius.
Oh, yeah.
The angle is genius. The story is genius. The happenstance, and wherever it goes, however it ends up, no one's going to be upset because we're bringing it back to what it's supposed to be. Just genius. All the players involved. Freaking genius.
I totally agree. We really put over when we started the show. Just I never seen like such a heated match in years. And just the whole storyline, and like you said, as a fan, it really makes you want to continue watching and see where it all goes. And
yeah.
Some of the it seems like it's a whole new. We're like witnessing the beginning of like a whole new era of wrestling.
Another era. I think it's great when you have people, and I don't mean to put myself in this category, but people who've been in the business for so long becoming fans of what we do again.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I'm upset about is no one invited me to a Cubs game. Did I go to a Cubs game? No.
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting there talking about Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and the other guys at a Cubs game. Anybody do anything for Bill DeMott? No.
You're talking to the intro, though.
Did those three guys buy my book? No.
I'm sure.
1-inch biceps.
Yes,
you buy my book? No.
Okay,
I
I'm
did
sorry.
that book.
I'm sorry. I'll pick it up.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
He's gonna pick it up. I picked it up, and I always pick up all the books for Scott T. I really enjoy him. But
you're supposed to be on the lookout for me, Jack. You should have told me about Bill DeMott's book. It's your fault.
As you know, Bill DeMott's one of my favorites.
That's unbelievable. I'm all over Twitter. Talking about my book.
Oh, I don't have a Twitter. I'm sorry. I just got the Facebook.
You know what? Damn, Trish Stratus got me on Twitter, and now it's like something I have to do 3 times a day.
You get hooked. Mm-hmm. You think it could be something you'd not be into, and then you get kind of hooked into it.
I like talking to the fans. I think that's why I'm still on it, because I like answering some of the questions. I mean, some of them are goofy as crap, and some of them I try not to ignore any of the questions. I try to answer them all, but it's fun. I like the fans. People don't realize I'm a nice guy.
Mm-hmm. Intro, was there any more good questions from the board?
Did he
I'm
say
sure there's a lot of
duct tape me to a rock earlier?
Did you what?
But he meant it he meant it as a good. It was just a rib.
No, I honestly would duct tape you to a rock.
See? He's not a good guy.
But this is how I'm a nice guy. I said I would feed you.
Oh, okay. That's true.
You might even enjoy it. You never know.
There's a lot of people who would duct tape you to a rock and leave you in the hot sun.
Nah, you put me in the shade.
No, I'd put you in a cave.
Aw. So
but I feed you.
I'd be
I'm
like
a nice guy.
a dude from Middle Earth by the time he's done with me.
I'm gonna tell you how nice I am. I sold my book to my mother for half price.
For Mother's Day. That was her present.
Solid.
Family discount.
Mm-hmm. I think we're
Family
related.
discount.
Mm-hmm. We got 2 more callers. Should we go to them?
You want me to ask my message board question real quick?
Yeah.
Crystal in Denver, she wants to know, what was your favorite moment on Tough Enough?
My favorite moment on Tough Enough, I think, man, that's kind of tough. My favorite moment on Tough Enough was the live finale, watching Steve name a winner, because it was a true reaction. It was a long road for everybody. And for anybody who thinks we had it easy, God, dog, it was a long process. And my favorite part of Tough Enough was working with Austin, Booker, and Trish, because I got to reconnect with some friends, and I made a couple new ones. So, and I think my next favorite moment is when they announced season 2 and they allow me to do what I love to do best.
I'm looking forward to it. Would you like it if you guys had more of a role of who is involved in it?
I kind of like the unknown.
Yeah.
But, I wouldn't mind. That was one of the things from the former Tough Enoughs, is we came in on the last 50 or 100 and kind of whittled it down. I think it'd be a great intro show to see how we get to the final 15 or 14. I think it'd be kind of cool for the people to see. But again, if it doesn't happen that way, I'm cool either way. I don't change my process, so I'm cool either way. I kind of like not knowing this time, but I always like to see what's out there and see what's best. What's going to work for us in the long run, you know?
Yeah. Now, along those lines, I don't know if you remember this guy or not, but he's been on the show a couple times, and he's been on about you. But Brian Carlucci, who was on the $1 Million Tough Enough, and he was on the training session where he hurt himself in the in the training part, but then they picked him up, and I think he went to Deep South Wrestling. Do you remember that guy, and do you have any thoughts on him?
Brian Carlucci?
Mm-hmm. Brian Danovich.
Oh, Brian Danovich.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian got hurt on $1 Million Tough Enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's kind of like skid marks.
Oh, that's definitely skid marks answer.
Yeah, Brian Danovich. That's the kid who got hurt benching 145.
Was that the official weight?
Well, it could have been, I don't know. Brian Danovich. Yeah, he's on the $1 Million Tough Enough.
All right, fair enough.
I hope you realize what you're doing here, Jack.
Well, I know I'm probably gonna get a bunch of calls tonight, but we do have. Let's get to a couple quick calls if you don't mind, Bill. Then we'll wrap it up with you.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, we got Nikhil. He's calling in from England.
Hi, Bill. I just wanted to ask, you had a bit of a bully gimmick in SmackDown, I think 2003. Were there any plans for you to kind of extend this gimmick, and where do you think it could have gone?
If I understood it, you're talking about my little run in 2003 on SmackDown. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think around that time, was that during the Rikishi and I'm killing every cruiserweight in the world?
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, that was a lot of fun because I think I leveled Funaki about 8 times and nearly killed him. I had fun doing that. It was right around that time, somewhere in there, right around that time, 2003-ish, where I put the finishing touches and broke my neck. So I'm not sure timeline which part you're talking about, but I'm not sure why the halt was put on it. I think right after that, Rikishi was gone from the company, and kind of as storylines go, if your opponent's gone, you're gone. And I didn't leave the company. I just was kind of, it just so happens I was again removed from the storyline. So
kind of like limbo.
It kind of works like that sometimes. But man, not for nothing, I could kick a cruiserweight's ass back in the day.
Yeah. I'll say for you, like in the ring, did you prefer playing the big man with a smaller guy or wrestling like another big guy like a Goldberg?
I never knew the difference.
Mm-hmm.
I never treated it any different. Naturally, I can throw a smaller guy a lot farther across the ring,
mm-hmm.
but I kind of hit everybody the same way.
Right.
I was and I truly am an equal opportunity ass to everybody.
Uh-huh.
Big guys is always more fun to watch them pound each other, and it's always fun to watch. Midget tossing. So it was a win-win for me.
Mm-hmm.
I like big guy stuff because I used to be a big guy, so I'm a fan of 2 big guys going at it, like 2 rams on a hill.
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of stuff I like too. Let's see here. Miss Destiny, do you have a question for Bill?
Yes, I have a small one, and all I gotta say is, I want to say thank you for letting me talk to you, Bill DeMott. It is a pleasure.
Thank you.
And by the way, I'm on a first name basis with some people, and you're one of them, so you can call me by my first name, Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hope Bill's wife's not listening.
Yeah. I got a question and a riddle for you.
No.
The question is, what is your tips for workout when you stay in shape? Because I am trying to become a member of the WWE roster myself, and my current regimen is an all-protein, no-carb diet with a B vitamin shot and exercising 6 days a week. So what would you say to either help me improve my weight loss and training, or would you say I'm doing a little too much?
Well, without naturally seeing what you look like and seeing how you work out, it almost seems like
I'm 170 pounds right now.
You send me email me some pictures, and I'll hook up Bill.
Yeah, but it almost sounds like you're doing too much.
Too much? Okay.
Yeah, it just sounds, from what you're saying, it sounds like you're doing too much.
Yeah, because I also get a B vitamin shot in the arm, too, to help me lose the weight.
Well, How do you feel?
I feel great. I've gone from 199.8 pounds to 170 in more than 5 months.
Well, then I say do what works for you. I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect diet or workout routine. What works for you, and if it works out and you're looking the way you want to look, keep doing it.
Thank you. And I am a little bit of a funny man, my funny girl myself. They call me the laughing lady here in Florida. But I have a riddle for you, and here's the deal. If you get the riddle right, I will promote the next season of Tough Enough for you here in the St. Pete Beach area if I can, media-wise. But if you get it wrong, you have to relay a message to one of my favorite superstars that I said hi.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, let us hear this riddle, Miss Destiny. Lisa. Can I call you Lisa, or just Bill can call you Lisa?
Sure, Jack. Anything for you.
Oh, all right.
All right, here it is. Would you like the cowboy one, or would you like the butcher one?
Is this the riddle?
No,
it's the riddle of steel.
Which one would you like? I'm giving you an option.
Get to pick your poison.
Oh, man.
I'm getting the option of the riddle?
Yeah, which one you want, butcher or cowboy?
Butcher, cowboy, Bill.
I'm convinced you're taking too much B12.
Let's go with the butcher one. I always remember.
Go with the butcher.
The old Dusty Rhodes vignette.
If a butcher is 6'2" tall, what does he weigh?
If the butcher is 6'2" tall, what does he weigh? Well, a butcher naturally would weigh the meat.
Dang it.
He got you. He got you, Dustin.
Yeah. The other. Oh my goodness. How did you get it?
He's a genius. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. But thank you for calling, Lisa. You're a good girl.
Thank you so much. And just give him, Jack. Just give him my Facebook page. I'll give him my Facebook page, Jack, and you can send it to Bill, and you can see my pictures of him.
Yes.
You gotta send me some special ones, I think, Lisa.
All right, I'll give you my Facebook and Twitter account so you can send it to Bill.
Yeah, let's see some pictures of that
special
Twitter.
Pictures.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Lisa.